Jersey Radio.
This hour, hundreds of exotic dancers, strippers, bar owners, and supporters descended upon the State House this afternoon to protest the smoking ban. The crowd was so large, Trenton police were forced to shut down part of State Street. New Jersey 101.5's The Jersey Guys were the brains behind the operation, says Jersey guy Ray Rossi.
You have to realize that a lot of these exotic women, they're supporting families. They're supporting scholarships that they didn't get. They are supporting themselves. These are the people who are going to get hurt.
Governor Cody says he will sign the smoking ban this Sunday. It'll prohibit smoking in bars, restaurants, and bowling alleys, but not in Atlantic City casinos. And that's a sore spot with many of those at today's rally.
Hi, we have a live feed from the State House. We have a report that strippers from Mars have invaded the State House and are going to use their stripper poles as mind control to prevent the legislators from passing new legislation, a smokers bill. They want to ban smoking throughout the state of New Jersey, and it's going to be signed into the legislation on Sunday, we understand.
Something like an extraterrestrial lobbying effort by our strippers in New Jersey, and they're going to try to render these people in a kind of imbecilic mindset.
Oh my God, what does that mean?
Extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
They're going to use their powers that they've brought back, their earthly sexual powers that are in some ways above and beyond nature, and try to imbue them into the Senate, into our New Jersey State Senate, and try to affect the minds of these key decision makers to render them, should we say, in an imbecilic mood and not have much to say.
I just got word. They're not actually from Mars. They're from Bordentown.
Couldn't that be
They're
Mars?
from Florence? They're from Florence. They're not actually strippers from outer space. They're strippers from Florence.
I was waxing poetic, I'm sorry. But they might still have the same effect, like an extraterrestrial.
We understand that they're going to have stripper poles come in, and they are going to try and divert the blood from the legislators' brains, to somewhere else in their body, so they won't be able to decide on the smoking ban.
An operation that should be quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'll say. Anyway, so we have a live feed from the State House, and we're watching right now the goings-on, and this is a rally of Florence strippers who are encouraging Governor Cody not to sign into law the smoking ban, which is going to take place in all of New Jersey.
Which some people say is a draconian smoking ban, taking away basically individual liberties from us. These strippers also see their livelihood affected. It's a very hot topic.
Yeah, for some reason, when you go to a stripper bar, you have to have cigarettes along with your beer. I never really understood that, but it seems like everybody's smoking in the stripper bars.
Well, we could really do a metaphysical look. That's my favorite word today. A look at the kind of people that maybe inhabit these type of bars. But yes, you're right. It seems like a Marlboro Pall Mall or a Marlboro is part of the uniform, part of the background ambiance of a stripper's bar. In a way, I do.
Well, do you think that people just like to smoke because they want to relax, or does it even matter?
We could break it down, though.
Does it matter if they smoke in?
Well, this is, again, I see the two conflicting points. Other people see it as a private liberty. I can guess, I'm not a sociologist or anthropologist, a lot of people who go to stripper bars might be of a low economic level, especially some of the dives I've been to, I am. And people in those levels do happen to smoke. It's comfort, it's addictive, it's something that, they were brought up, possibly their parents did. Also, it's a refuge for them, I think, from whatever job they have they don't like or a marriage. And it's just a way station before they go home. And yes, I do see the alcohol and the cigarettes going together. And both, must I say, can be potentially addictive.
One of the big issues here that they're supporting is that the soldiers, sailors and soldiers, went overseas, fought in wars, ready to give up their lives for our personal freedoms. And now they're not allowed to smoke in their own VFW.
Isn't that a cheap shot, though? A lot of precedents have been set where what we call individual liberties have been, in quotes, taken away. I think Dwight Eisenhower said that a civilization must grow in a civilized fashion. Maybe is smoking one of those things that has to go by the wayside. Or we could wax on and on the statistics of deaths caused by smoking. Just because you smoke, do you have the right to pollute my airspace? Do we have to pay for your bill once you get cancer?
There's a right to destroy your own body, and then there's another thought about do you have the right to smoke in other people's presence and, you know, kids in a car? Are we allowed to smoke in front of our kids and pollute to, you know, the kids? But is there a right to hurt yourself?
Well, yes and no. And I think smoking, let's be honest, there's a lot of ways to hurt yourself, but smoking is a very vivid, self-destructive activity that it's everyone's bugaboo list. I get upset when I see overweight people go to the bakery and buy 2 cakes. What are you doing? Processed flour, sugar? You're going to get diabetes. But it's not as obvious. Smoking definitely is. And we do know, we have empirical evidence of the danger it does to your health and the cost for everyone in our health. Now, again, let's take the flip side. I understand, why can't a man, or anyone, can't they go to their favorite bar with their friends and have a cigarette? Kids don't have to go there.
It's like a VFW is almost a private place where not everybody goes. It's for the little inside group, as it were, you know?
Well, can't they target probably have exemptions? Maybe a
well, they
small
do
amount.
have one exemption, and that one exemption is really a hot topic because the first part of the topic is, does Big Brother have a right to tell us what and when and where to do it? Not so much that I can't smoke in a particular restaurant, but the restaurateur can't even allow people to smoke in their restaurant.
That's true. It's a private, you know, it's a residence.
And
but
so the Big Brother is telling everybody what they can and cannot do
you keep on using
for
Big
their own
Brother.
good. But there is one entity that's even more powerful than Big Brother: casino gambling.
Well, you know, isn't Big Brother a misnomer? It's a strong word to already attach. If you want to call government Big Brother, good, but they've already told us a lot of things we can't do. DDT, water tables, how high your kitchen should be. Could this just be another growth of that self-regulation protection for society? And they're not stopping smoking entirely. They're just saying don't do it in public.
The issue is the hypocrisy of the smoking ban, allowing Atlantic City casinos to smoke and not allowing restaurant, bars, and taverns to smoke in the state of New Jersey. It's an unfair advantage to the casinos, and it is hypocritical and we believe unconstitutional.
What do you want to happen today?
We want the bill to be repealed. My name is Armando Frelichardi Jr., the proprietor of Lorenzo's. Maurice Kahn, when are you going to come down and have lunch? Thank you. You're welcome.
I think, like they said, 13% of the people drink 78% of the beer. Something like 20% of the people smoke most of the cigarettes and are willing to pay those taxes because they're in fact addicted as a lifestyle type thing. I'm not as worried about that. I personally, and I don't want to make it. I respect your views. I just see the government and it's the government phasing out attacking cigarette smoking. The culture, the mentality, the paradigm of thought has gone against smoking, and the cigarette companies know it. That's why they're slowly going fast to the third world.
Well, cigarette companies have divested,
Yes.
I understand, or reinvested in themselves. I understand corporations like R.J. Reynolds is becoming invested in companies like Kraft.
Right. They saw the future 15 years ago. It's pretty much public knowledge. I think documents came out in mainstream media that they predicted that they would lose lawsuits. They predicted that the anti-smoking forces would become stronger, their voice heard more, and that it's time to diversify and go to the third world. China is a huge market. Because let's be honest, and I have to say this again, if you saw the movie The Insider, Crow, great actor, it's based on a true story. I believe a chemist who basically finked on his tobacco company, and he said this is basically a delivery system for nicotine, one of the most addictive drugs in the world. And that's all it is. And once they get you addicted, they aim for teenagers. It is pretty insidious. We all agree smoking's not that great. They aim for teenagers because their documentation shows they can get you addicted by 13. They have a lifelong smoker. And then what they look at...
well, much like the strippers from Mars coming down with their fertility poles, to convince the legislators to leave the cigarettes alone, could this not be like a fertility pole?
Yeah,
to convince you to smoke for the rest of your life?
Yeah, well, you know, if you want to get into reptilian, some people have said, no joke here, we're very serious people, as you know. Some people say subconsciously, this is your mother's nipple. This is a no. What when you're young, you have benchmarks of how you perceive things, and it
Well,
goes
that's
to your
interesting.
subconscious.
Me personally, I won't go into it here, but that's an interesting concept of why I gave up cigarettes.
You don't
Yeah.
want.
I won't go into
you can't
that,
give in, no,
But
it's a
yeah,
gratification.
That gratification, because I found gratification, I was able to walk away from cigarettes 2.5 years ago.
Oh, you did. You were
Yeah.
not and you saved some money too. I hope. What do you do
Yeah, I
with that
saved,
money?
what I do with the money?
That you
I
saved?
wasted on TV equipment.
Okay, Mike, what do you think the power to the strippers will be in Trenton on us all?
Well, you know what? I think that you can look in the background and see how many people are at this rally. And I've been to many rallies over the last 7 years in Trenton. And they claim that this is the biggest rally. But I can tell you from experience and being in Trenton and working near the State House every day, this is probably one of the biggest of the 4 major rallies. If you want to really get people out, we'll talk about state workers' pensions, and then you'll see a huge rally. But this is a very sizable and respectable size rally. Smokers are brought out because they want to see the strippers.
So yeah, so it's good advertising. I think
And
this,
you can see that there is some... the strippers are rallying the crowd to really get boisterous. Let's listen to that. Okay.
hey,
So-
that's great for I from an advertising look, it's a great idea. Strippers equals people, maybe men, and they're doing
But
a
you
great
can see
job.
There's a lot of women out
There's a
there.
lot of
too.
women there too. Some of these, I think we see some people see themselves out there. I get the feeling as a persecuted minority. Other people want to have a good time, and maybe it's a combination of all that. But I wish I was there.
Well, we're still waiting for strippers to show up from somewhere. We got a report that they're on a bus coming from Florence. They may be coming up the New Jersey Turnpike.
Any news whether they will strip?
Well, they said they're going to set up a mobile stripper pole, and they're going to do a fertility rate right in front of the State House while this is going on. They just got done. Let's see. They're going to do the national anthem. I think they're going to do some singing in a little bit. And we're going to go watch that.
So everything's being brought into play. All the powerful symbols: America, fertility.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's going to be a few speeches. They said the speeches they're going to limit it to 30 seconds of speech, but we're going to have a few speeches, some singing to rally the troops. And then they'll leave the State House.
Will they be lighting up inside buildings, outside buildings? Have you heard anything about
Well, see, there pre-exists a law you can't smoke in the theater.
that? I know that, but are
the
they going to do
state-
some nonviolent disobedience and light up? You think lie down? Any of that being talked
Well, we'll
about?
have to see if that happens, but I think that given the power of the people running the rally, that everyone will step in line and be
Our
peaceful and
fathers,
do.
our grandfathers, our aunts, our uncles, our sons and daughters, many of them have given their lives to make this country what it is, and that's great. And I never had the balls to strap a rifle on, put the American flag on my arm, and represent my country, but tens of thousands of men and women have, and this day is as much about them as anything else. I know I have a lot. I know we have a lot of veterans here. I see hats from Vietnam. We've celebrated our World War II heroes on our show, and we make a mockery of the lives of the men and women that were lost overseas when we start taking away Americans' freedoms. It's obnoxious to me. So we have a great day planned for you today, and there's no way to start it off other than 2 of my favorite songs. We're going to start with the national anthem.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight All the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets went clear, the bombs bursting in air. They broke through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled Thank you for helping him out. That was hot. And then the second song, God, it's been on our radio station many times, and I think is one of the best unsigned talents out there. He's a Jersey kid through and through. And we do a little America the Beautiful with Erih Wald. Erih. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human fears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Awesome. We have a few speeches for you. I figured you had no attention span, so the limit on speeches is 2 minutes today. But there's no way all you fine people would have come down here today without a lot of people helping us out. And I want to give them a few seconds to talk to you. Up here right now. It's really because of her that we're here today. She's the owner of Illusions. This woman, I love her. This woman walked into the building behind us, and she let them have it. And now she's going to tell you why she's so passionate about it. A round of applause for Eleanor from Illusions.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. We're starting a snowball on a 10-mile high mountain. And when it gets to the bottom, Trenton's legislature is going to be done. We're not going to stand for this. This is wrong. We have choices. Now, everybody, Cody, don't sign. Cody, don't sign. Cody, don't sign. Sign. Cody, don't 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 sign.
broadcasting this rally live right now on New Jersey 101.5 radio. I want to do one other thing before we bring up our next speaker. There's a lot of guys you see around you. Some of them are sitting on horses, but they've been great today, and they're happy that we're here. So a round of applause for our men in blue.
I can't remember a rally that had this much enthusiasm and this many people.
Yeah, it really was great.
Yeah, what was it really competing with? Governor Cody's press conference on the new state?
We had no competition today. It's much like radio in general for us. There's really just no other
That's right. You guys are
in
just
Jersey.
number one.
Until you and Sea Dog start your own show, and then we're really...
Well, actually, we have been thinking about that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll never talk to you again.
I thought we'd be on in the morning so there could be some sort of working...
No, you'll actually get more... I'd love to
fun.
hire you for morning drive.
Yeah,
Great.
do it.
All right, if you missed it earlier today, a lot of people are still talking about this. Tommy G, the leader of the late night, we gave Tommy G a maximum allotment of time, 2 minutes. And when his script blew away from him, he went crazy. And here's his...
I will give it to them, my fellow New Jerseyans, small business owners, brave veterans, and esteemed exotic dancers! Thank you for calling my show every night. Thank you. Today we combine our collective voices to let our elected public servants know that we don't work for them, they work for us! They work for us! You hear me? You work for me!
We the people!
That's right, the people! You! This rally is just not about smoking, it's about your rights and your freedom to choose! Choose! Do not let things happen to you. Make things happen for you, and that's why we are all here today! If you are old enough and brave enough to make a decision to join the United States military, you should also retain the right to make a decision whether you want to go to a smoke-free or a smoke-filled establishment. This country was founded on freedom of choice. Don't give it up! The lawmakers of New Jersey, instead of tackling the real issues of stress-related deaths caused by living in New Jersey, which attribute to heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, and family breakups, stress like living in a state with the highest property taxes, did they tackle that? Let me hear you say no! No! High car insurance, did they tackle that? Let me hear you say no! I didn't take my medication today. I take it at night. I'm going to finish up right now. I'm going to calm down before they think I'm going to have a stroke. I'm okay. All right. All right. If you are old enough to make a decision to join the military, all right. Tommy! 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 Okay, so I'm done. See, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless New Jersey. God bless America. I'm Tommy G. Thank you.
He really does need some Zoloft. Tommy G, right on. I got 340 more dancers, but they closed the street down. I swear they are here, and if they don't get up on stage by the time we're done, they are going right to the War Memorial. So I hope all you guys are going to join us down there. Can I get a round of applause, though, for the girls that are up on the steps? Please. You know, before I introduce my partner, it's funny to me. 1 year ago, almost to the day, Ray Rossi and I were in this very building. and 7 elected officials, all assemblymen, voted that Ray and I should never be allowed to talk in public again. They censured us. This is why they don't want to hear what Ray and I have to say, because all we are is the voice of you, the common man and woman. And Ray's got the breast to prove it. So let me introduce the man that is my partner. He's a Manalapan resident for almost 30 years now, and he's got a great rack, Ray Rossi. How the hell do I follow Tommy G? Impossible! You gotta move down, you gotta move down. The fellas, girls, oh, calm down, relax. You got an Italian in the house. Right at this very moment, the governor is inside unveiling a brand new state slogan. He doesn't want you to know what it is, but we know what it is. New Jersey, no fumar. It's done. It's over. You can't do it anymore. That's the reason why we're out here today. For you and for them. For these young ladies right over here. These young ladies, they're not just entertainment specialists, or shall we say, male entertainment specialists. No. They're mothers. They're wives. They're students. They are supporting themselves. They are going to be put out of work. They are going to be cut. You are going to see them on the street. You're going to see them on the unemployment line. You're going to see them suckling at the breast of New Jersey, suckling from the milk that you support. You are going to have to support them through higher taxes. Is that what you want? Absolutely not. You want to see them dance. And you want to smoke. That's the reason why we're here today. No to no fumar. Say no to no fumar. Thank you. Ray Rossi is bilingual, there's no doubt about it. I want to do this because I think it's going to sound great, and I know Dick Cody's about 100 yards behind me. Can I just get a USA chant one more time, please? USA! 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 Awesome. USA! 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 All right, I want to bring, hang on, I want all the girls to come over here right in front of this podium right now. I want every woman here on the steps right now. Come on, girls. Right in front of everybody, please. Come on, ladies. There they are. There they are. Get up. Get up. Move down, move down, move down. Let all the women get in here.
Congressman Jim Saxton to carry throughout the entire war. I went over and fought for freedom of people. And now they're trying to tell me I can't sit in my American Legion post and have a cigar with my fellow soldiers, but inmates incarcerated in prison can? Wrong answer. And this is my sister. This is my sister who has a breathing disability and is here to support her.
Wow, that was really an impassioned speech.
I have to say, wherever it came from, it
man.
definitely was the heart there, and something like that. I mean, I used to teach history, and I just talk about participating in the democratic process. That's all I can tell you.
Wow, that was.
I mean, whatever side you're on, it was good theater.
It was kind of like he was. I think they're gonna. The quote is that he's the white Jesse Jackson.
Yes, yes.
I mean, that was really.
He was a little more. He enunciated
the smoker's Jesse Jackson.
He enunciated his words a little better, though. Yes, but he was. And some of the points he made. What was it? What I liked when he was shouting about my medication or something. That got my attention.
I liked when he said, "We don't work for them; they work for us."
Yeah, we gotta
I mean, they work for us. How about, that was just like making everybody nuts. I couldn't believe,
It's going to be a tough act to follow, though.
Yeah, and then okay, so they're all moving over to the State House, to the War Memorial.
Will they be smoking? Will they be smoking in the War Memorial?
Will they be smoking in the War Memorial? Will they be civil disobedient? We'll have yet to see. And you know what?
Will the sprinkler system go off? Will the dose of strippers? We'll have wet strippers.
We've been covering this. We've been here for an hour. I don't think we've only been on the air for about 20 minutes. I think we've been here for an hour. We're waiting for 350 strippers and 4 buses.
I think our producer wants a cigarette too. It's been very hectic today. But,
they said on the loudspeaker at the rally that the strippers are still on the turnpike for some reason.
Leave it to strippers to be late.
And I don't know if the strippers drive in the buses, but
I hope the drivers.
If anybody sees the buses on the turnpike, could you call us up and let us know how they're doing? I know that they're doing the same thing on the radio station.
Right, that's right. And I just want you to know I won't be getting near them, though I am married. But that's just a side comment. Okay, I'm excited though.
They're going to have that was the woman who talked in the fur coat. She was Eleanor, and she was the owner. She is the owner of Illusions, the bar in Florence that supplied the.
She had her best kind of pseudo madam look going. I just wonder if Peter was going to get upset because that fur coat looked real.
Well, it's a fake fur.
Oh, it is fake. Okay, I'm glad you did that because I saw a little hypocrisy there.
Fake. Yeah, well. Yeah, she kind of reminded me of the 101 Dalmatians lady, but she didn't have the white streak or whatever.
But she definitely is a character, and she definitely knows her way around the camera. And again, some impassioned
comments. And you could tell she smoked quite a few cigarettes with that voice.
Yes, it was gravelly.
Gravelly.
Definitely. She was from Hollywood, though. She fits the scenario. I read about her in the paper. She's exactly as I imagined her.
Really?
Yeah, from reading about her in the Trentonian and Trenton Times.
Yeah, and I think it's her. She brought her daughter with her today.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can get. I'd like to interview both of them.
I'm sure you would.
What's happening now?
Well, we're in the they've moved to the War Memorial. The coverage is in the War Memorial now. They're set up the tables. They're doing a few little interviews here and there. It's really hard to get the sound in, but we're going to do some feed from the radio station. As I can do it. The Jersey guys, we're going to get a little feed in now and then. We're going to hear some of their telephone calls. So actually what we're doing today is the media is covering the legislature.
Well,
so it's really a circus today.
Put it this way, the sunshine law is out. Everything, at least right out here, is transparent. No pun intended.
Transparent?
Yeah.
What pun? Oh, you're silly.
Thank you.
Okay, so what they're doing now is we have one of the persons here is the Vietnam vet, and he just got done having a talk, and they're going to demonstrate a what they call a friction dance. It's not actually a strip tease, which is more burlesque. And it's not really a bump and grind.
You seem well versed on this.
It's not really a lap dance, but they're going to do a lap dance is a little bit different. But what they're going to do here is demonstrate what's called a friction dance.
Okay.
We've got.
This is part of some of the fertility type rite.
This is the fertility rite. When they do, you can see what's going on here. We got like 8 or 10 girls on this one guy. And usually you don't get 8 or 10 girls on one guy unless it's a special thing.
Right. But for the media, but I'm a little confused, Mike. If you can explain, this is fertility, cigarettes, growth.
Well, the cigarettes don't really have anything to do with it. It's the way that the ladies like to coax dollar bills away from the guy's wallet.
The man's mind's probably not on cigarettes right now. I agree with you.
Well, he's getting a freebie, so you can look over here now.
Oh, sorry.
It's a freebie here, and while we're talking, they'll be demonstrating what it's like in a go-go bar in Florence. I guess I've been to my share in my life, you know.
I've not been to one. I'm married, thank you. But getting back, I wonder if the strippers are going to also talk about, or they're going to start banning.
Well, these aren't really strippers yet. These are just go-go dancers.
Oh,
there's a big difference between.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, there's a big difference between strippers and friction dancers, where a stripper takes her clothes off, and we want to see like the bra come off, and maybe there's pasties if there's, booze being served at the bar. And
They can't be totally naked if booze is being sold, though. Is that
right,
correct?
there was a couple bars.
Frank's Chicken's House or something.
Frank's Chicken Ranch was Chicken House
in
was
Manville, New Jersey.
In Manville, New Jersey,
Right.
which it's not there anymore. It's closed. But they were you go in and you could buy a soda for $10, and
see naked women.
See naked women right in front of you, and you know it's you know. If you have one to look at it, it's much nicer when you have one to look at home and you don't have, you know, it's great. Just go home, have your wife charge you $10 for a can of Coke, and it's just like the Chicken Ranch.
Okay, I see some of these breasts. Look, I was just wondering, as a spin-off, I've heard talk about trying to ban some form of breast implants because they say they're unhealthy. Some of the materials that they put in the implant. Again,
well, you know, I was watching that
some of these
plastic
definitely enhanced breasts.
Well, a couple of them, perhaps, maybe 2 or 3.
I'm not looking anymore, though. Yes, but anyway, yes.
But you know, on the plastic surgeon show, they were talking. They got a new implant that goes back to a safer. What do you call? What was
saline
it?
solution.
No, the other thing.
I don't remember.
What was banned?
I don't know. I forget. One
what
chemical.
Was that junk that they used?
Probably because it was junk because they banned it, but I don't remember. You're better versed on the strippers than I am, and also I don't really know.
You know, the thing that leaked, what the hell was that?
I thought it was a saline solution.
No, that's the answer. That's salt water.
Well, something was leaking, and that was banned for good, I guess, good reason.
Oh man, we got to cut this part out.
Yeah, we do.
What the hell is it called? It's
I got
chest implant.
But it was a material that got banned. It got stiff and it leaked.
S.
Saline? Cycling?
Lubricant.
Oh, well.
Silicone.
Silicone, okay.
Okay, get back. All right, so, there was implants that were made out of silicone, and now they're using saline, but on the surgeon show, they said something about bringing back a safer silicone.
Version, right.
Because the men are just not happy with the saline implants. They just don't feel natural. But you know what? For me, what's more natural than a woman in a real form?
Well, let's see another. Knocking on smoking. You smoke, higher risk for breast cancer. You get a mastectomy, and they give you the saline solution for your breast. Does that make any? Well, you see, well, these women aren't really occupied with that right now. But anyway.
Well, these girls look pretty young. They almost look like they're out of high school to me. I don't know.
Well,
they maybe look like they're 22 or 23. They don't really look like women to me.
Is the Vice Squad just around the corner?
Is the Vice? I don't know.
Okay.
But you know, they did ban the saline. I mean the silicone, and they came out with the saline.
There were some horror stories about leakage and
all that.
Stiff and
but is there a safer cigarette too?
Well, if you could make that, it's almost like finding a cure for cancer. That would be a big draw. I know they've had smoked cigarettes that they said were safer. They end up having no taste at all. I really think it's one of those red herrings where there really isn't an answer. I think the best thing is basically not smoking. Even the patch, they said, has, even though it gets you off, has some negative benefits, but it's still the best thing you can do.
I heard an interesting statistic about stop smoking. They said that 80% of the people who try cold turkey fail.
I'm sure. They binge back. It's too much.
But 80% of the people who succeed smoking did it with cold turkey.
Wow.
So while...
It's a matter of personalities then.
While it's many people fail from cold turkey, I understand the statistics are the highest. And the patch is just a kind of way to put off the inevitable. It's like kind of weird because you're still getting the nicotine fix, so you're really a smoker. You just don't get to have a cigarette.
Right, the habit. Well, I wanted to ask you then, Mike.
I wonder maybe if... Okay, I'm sorry.
What was your motivation? What got you off cigarettes? How did you decide that this is not the direction you wanted to go in?
Well, I've been trying to give up smoking for quite a long while.
Why? What was your motivation?
And one of the motivations is you stop smoking for 2 months, and you say, I did a good job, I can have one cigarette. And then it's all over.
Wow.
You'll be smoking for another year. You'll be kicking yourself.
The door opens a crack and it opens the whole way.
And then, it's all part of the process because you got to see what a fool you are.
Fall down
like
again.
3 or 4 times and say, I want to stop, fall on your ass, and then finally one day you get a really good motivation. You stop, you get 28 days under your belt, and you go, I'm not going to fall for that again.
Right.
I fell for it 4 times. You know what? Somebody helped me get over the hump. I'm not falling for it again.
And you had to get smacked in the face saying you weren't that strong. That one cigarette did lead you back, so you knew, like, the higher power, so to speak. You couldn't beat that one cigarette. You
can't beat that one cigarette.
You can't be a social smoker after that.
You know, the other thing is, like, when the world gets rough and everything collapses, and you say, I can have a cigarette because, you know what? She left, he died,
it is like
I quit, I was fired.
You look for excuses.
And you look for an excuse,
right, to
and you go, I can have that one cigarette because... And then you're hooked back and you're doing it again.
But you change your thinking. You said, this is another reason why I'm not going to fall for this. I have all the excuses in the world, but that's all they are. Do I want to quit smoking or not?
And then you get serious, and then all the bad things happen, and she leaves, and he quits, and you get fired, and the whole world falls apart. And you say, you know what?
I can do something positive. Yeah.
At least I don't smoke. Everything went bad, but at least I don't smoke.
I had a success, something positive out of all this.
And
yeah, that's a good
you know what? It never gets easy. Over at the State House, the cigars are really nasty. I couldn't deal with the cigars. I never could. But
yeah, there are some out there.
There were. We're in the State House. We're in the. But anyway,
yeah, there were some out there.
We've seen a couple demonstrations of the friction dance behind us.
I have to say, the architecture of the State House is beautiful. That we did it.
What architecture?
Well, they cleaned it up a little bit, didn't they?
I haven't really looked around. I've just been looking at
looking at the strippers.
Yeah, sorry. But the issue here we're talking about today, let's see, what else happened? We had some nice impassioned presentation at the State House earlier to protest the smoking ban that Governor Cody is slated to sign this coming Sunday.
It says here Governor Cody is a personal proponent of the bill. He wants to leave his legacy. I've got this late word. This will be one of his enduring legacies as governor, as acting governor. So it's going to happen.
Well, they claim Governor Cody has done a laundry list of things in his lame duck last few hours of being governor. He wasn't elected, but you know, I see him trying to do the best he can.
Right, under the circumstances. And he will go back to being what? Speaker? What? He'll be going back to the Senate Majority Leader, won't he?
I'm not sure.
I think he will be. Under now Governor Corzine, who's going to be governor
Corzine.
in 2 weeks.
No, it's going to be
Tuesday the 17th, I think.
No, he's going to. When we all come back to work on Tuesday, I think it's the governor.
He'll be governor, yes. Jawin Jim, that's right.
Governor Cody's last day officially is going to be Sunday. We all have the day off on Monday for Martin Luther King Day, and on Tuesday we report to work with the new governor. One of the nice things that
some more friction, and yes,
well, yeah, friction.
It's kind of like a chain reactions happening in back of us. Anyway, yes, I'm sorry.
So one of the things that Governor Cody has done, we understand, is sign in legislation to allow stem cell research.
Finally, I agree with that. Let's be a little progressive.
And
we have to fight out with Massachusetts and I think California to be the epicenter in this country for stem cell research. That's progressive, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of support in Princeton for a lot of things that Governor Cody's done. One of my friends, PJ's Pancake House, my friend Herb, he's very supportive of both the smoking ban, as you know, he has a breathing problem, so he didn't even like smoking, and he's very supportive of this stem cell research, as well as the new head of the chair of the planning board. Is it the planning committee?
Oh, there was a new nominee. I wasn't versed on that though. In the rush to get ready.
This is Peggy Karcher.
Peggy Karcher, right?
She's supportive.
Judge Karcher's daughter, is it, or wife?
No, this is the wife of Alan Karcher. This is the widow of Alan Karcher.
Yeah, the Judge Karcher. But I see here too, though, some things.
Alan Karcher, I believe, he was a speaker, wasn't he?
And a smoker.
He was a smoker.
Died of throat cancer.
Are you sure?
As he died, I think I remember seeing a quote from him. I think I'm right. He said, "As for smoking, hey, I can read labels. This is what I got myself into." So at least he wasn't suing McDonald's or Reynolds. One thing I see, and I'm not going to fault Governor Cody, he inherited somewhat of a mess from McGreevey, and I think we touched on lightly, is that the casinos will be grandfathered in. They won't.
Grandfathered in.
So
Now,
what is it? Is this the power?
Why?
What lobbying effort is this?
Well, is it that gamblers are worth less than smokers?
Or is it the revenue they bring in too much?
Or is it the revenue? Or is it a revenue
makes us
push?
You don't kill the.
You know, when I was smoking, I couldn't believe that's how much cigarettes cost in a casino.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to wait to get a big jackpot before I could go down and buy a pack of cigarettes in the casino.
Well, they got you by the proverbial, I won't say, by the scrotum.
I can't imagine what they cost now, but I bet you they're like $12 in a casino. I haven't been to a casino in 10 years. I haven't smoked in 2.5 years.
With the casinos, we won't even know whether the casinos would lose a lot of people because of non-smoking. But they don't want to touch this. Is it is it the goose with the golden egg, or is it just the power of lobbyists, the mafia? Some say, I don't know, influencing key politicians. But they're not. That's a big, should I say, elephant in the room. How you can say
white elephant? You don't want to walk on the toe of the elephant.
The toe, I guess so. Have you heard anything from your investigative reporting on this?
Well, no, but why should the casinos be exempt? I mean, people are really having a big fit over the casinos. I kind of see recently in the news in Pennsylvania. I think it was in Levittown or Morrisville or something, but in Pennsylvania, they are voting on whether to allow a firecracker company to sell fireworks in Pennsylvania where they're outlawed, but only to people who can prove that they're out-of-staters. So in the states that border Pennsylvania, all ban fireworks. So people are going to have to drive as far away as where the fireworks are made to come to Pennsylvania to buy fireworks.
That's supposed to happen. And we all know the state of Pennsylvania has
if you're from New Jersey, you could go to Pennsylvania, and by showing that you're an out-of-state resident, you could buy fireworks in Pennsylvania and bring them to New Jersey.
Or you can get your friend to give you his ID.
Now, they want to pass legislation to let that happen. So what they're doing is they're not outlawing the product or the sale of the product. They're outlawing the use of the product by residents. And isn't that kind of convoluted?
It sounds like payoffs and jobs to me. That's all I can see. We're talking about a state legislation that passes.
They're encouraging people to come from New Jersey. They're allowing people to come from New Jersey, buy fireworks, illegally import them into New Jersey, and illegally use them in New Jersey.
I don't want to be point. Why are you looking at logic, though?
I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
So wouldn't it be much, instead of allowing one company to come to Pennsylvania to sell a product that's banned in the state to people who don't live in the state, isn't it make more sense to ban the product than to ban the use? So where I'm getting at is, ban the use of cigarettes. Wouldn't it be more powerful to ban the sale of cigarettes in New Jersey?
I think it's apples and eggs. And first of all, let's take each case by a case-by-case example. I'm not an expert on Pennsylvania legislature, but they've been called the most archaic and not corrupt, but provincial legislature in the country. They did pass at midnight some raise for themselves. They were basking in the relative anonymity of no one caring. Obviously, someone got paid off. 2, cigarettes. Come on, cigarettes are a major, major addiction in this country. We tried it with alcohol. Why would you even want to broach that subject or connect to? I'm already worried about organized crime getting more into cigarettes because of the sin tax and the rising cost of it.
Well, I kind of think if you can't have a cigarette at work or in a restaurant, I noticed when I had to go without, when I finally went and had a cigarette, I would smoke more.
Fine, as long as you didn't do it in your place
of
work.
So like you like make up when you go out to break to have your cigarette instead of having 5 cigarettes in a daytime, you smoke a whole pack.
Well, to see them gyrate, I don't see your logic though. So what? So you smoke more. We're not saying you can't smoke, but just don't smoke in premises and pollute the air. And you give revenue to the state, which they'll take, and hopefully,
and the feds.
And the feds.
But if you're going to like start to limit smoking in public places, do you see like the outdoors as the next goal?
Yeah, I know. People worry about erosion of liberties, if this is going to take a life of its own.
Is
but no,
it a liberty,
I don't.
though? Is it a liberty to smoke?
That's again, the question was I said at the beginning of this broadcast, civilizations have to evolve in a manner, and I think smoking...
Do little kids have a right not to have to smell smoke?
Well,
do little kids have the right to not smell smoke?
No, it depends on conditions, like any other law in this country. Where can you spray DDT? Only in emergency situations, or something.
I don't know about.
Where can you dump nuclear waste? What kind of additives can go in your food, even if it tastes good? Can the government say no because it might cause cancer? These are a lot of questions we're grappling with. And there's never going to be a complete answer. I think there's an evolving answer. There's the right answer. Everyone has their position on what the right answer is, and then what we have is competing democratic values. We have a lobbying effort, and then we have the cultural shift or a paradigm, and then we slowly evolve. Sometimes not for the better.
And they're talking about not smoking outdoors and also banning smoking in cars if you're transporting kids.
I just think that's just on some laws. I think are just bad laws that can't be enforced and they cause more trouble than they're worth.
Well, there's a whole flurry of laws that we could look at.
Depends on enforcement, of course.
One of them was they were talking about kids having to wear helmets when they're on their bicycles. They're talking about you have to put your windshield wipers on when your headlights are on.
Yeah, that's all come into play. Yeah.
That's really not. I mean, it's
babies
enforceable.
Under 20.
I mean, one of the first laws was a windshield wiper law, where you have to have your windshield wipers on when your headlights on with your windshield wipers. I kind of figured, what's the point of that?
Well, they did prove that.
How am I antisocial by driving around with my headlights off with my windshield wipers on? How does that make me a criminal? Why is there a law against it? And it's such a ridiculous law. There's no fine.
Yes, I know. There's actually
but
evidence.
There's no fine.
Or enforcement. Yeah, that is a self. Yeah, hopefully it becomes self-regulating and becomes part of our common culture.
But why does it need to be a law? Do you need to have a law to say zip your pants up?
Yeah, why does it have to be a law? I'll tell you why. There's 300 million people in this country. We don't have town halls that much. We don't even know our neighbors. Yeah, how do they ingratiate into the consciousness of this country? Laws that are pretty helpful. And of course, they've decided ahead of time we're not going to be like the Stalin police, usually they do, because the child isn't buckled properly. But there's also this proof this does save lives. 1. 2, it saves other people's lives. 3, again, that's the best way, I guess, to try to put it into people's mindset. 20 years ago, I heard the same grumbling about the seatbelt law. I don't think it was a big price to pay, and people are automatically doing it now, I think.
Well,
it's in
the
their mind.
It's
in their mind.
And
that's not enforced that lot either. Cops, only if they stop you for something else, might enforce it. And they see
the seatbelt law, you got a couple things confused there. We're
getting off topic, though.
No, but it is the topic, and you're getting a little confused.
How?
The seatbelt law, there was last year the ticket or click it, and there was a furious enforcement of the seatbelt law
for a short period of time.
For a couple months. Yeah. And there's a little sporadic enforcement of the seatbelt law.
Of course.
What you're thinking about is the cell phone law, where it's a secondary offense.
That should be next, though, too, in my book, because, again, that's a rising phenomenon. Cell phones are more accessible and cheaper, and more people are using them when they drive, and I think they are dangerous. I haven't seen evidence. Again, civilization has to grow in a civilized manner. And is
it wrong to have a cell phone in the car?
While we're using it, yes, I do. Yeah, I do. We don't have evidence yet that I know of. I think a lot of this can be proven empirically, though. And I think people who are on cell phones are not paying attention to the road, making them much more susceptible to an accident. Twice, I was pushing my child with a green light, and I was almost hit. I didn't tell my wife this. Woman taking a right on red with a cell phone. Both times it was women, I'm not saying, but even my wife agrees. She was hardly looking at anything. Basically, she was on the cell phone, looking in the mirror and driving. She just didn't think. Her reaction time was so slow.
One of the most
5 beers.
There's the two most retarded things that I really drive me nuts is the left lane dick. And now the left lane dick, if it's in a van and it's a left lane dick and they have a cell phone, they're driving 35 or 40 miles an hour.
They think they're in their living room. They feel they're in their living room.
They feel like they're in their living room. It's really, really dangerous. And the second thing that really drives me nuts is you'll see a van and there'll be a cell phone driver. They'll make either a right or a left turn, and in the middle of the turn, they'll stop.
Right.
and placing the cell phone. But all of a sudden now,
why do you see this connection? Why do you throw out common sense? We only have so much manpower and resources, and each community, since we don't have a state system,
they're passing laws that they can't enforce.
Well, no, I think,
and they're passing laws that take
disagree.
away.
I would disagree.
That take our rights to do things. Now,
I think people are raised with authority. No, believe it or not, and once one person gets busted, word gets around, and it slowly gets engraved. Of course, there'll be some hardened minority say, "I'll do what I want." And getting back to your car,
but when I was talking about the firecrackers, it's the opposite. The product is illegal in the state, but you can sell it.
Under the radar.
But over here, the product is legal, but the use is regulated.
Mike, bills like that are under the radar.
Cigarettes are now becoming a controlled substance.
Well, they should be.
Should they be given out with prescriptions?
Well, I don't think we'll go there because it won't work. But the only reason I pick on your firework analogy, for one, it goes under the radar. We don't have a huge addiction to fireworks per se and people fighting for their rights. People don't even notice these laws. Cigarettes, cars, we want the right to drive, but also it's a national health catastrophe because more people, as you know, die on the highways and the Iraq war 10 times combined. There has to be controls.
So you're saying people are being antisocial by getting cancer and by getting in wrecks in their car on the road?
Antisocial, they're being homicidal, especially with the cars.
Well,
and what upsets me more about the smokers is, sure, you can smoke. Who's paying the bill?
My problem is
you're doing
feel it's wrong to criminalize people who are social. Somebody who doesn't wear their seatbelt really isn't doing...
Oh, please.
I mean,
they go through that windshield, they're not insured. We pay for that.
No, but an antisocial behavior is selling drugs, is robbing people, is stealing from people, killing people. This is antisocial. Having a cigarette, it's not the smartest thing in the world.
It's pretty antisocial, I think, sitting next to someone.
But it's not antisocial because the tobacco is legal. My point is, if you want to ban cigarettes, smoking, you have to outlaw the product.
Oh, so we have to follow a direct line just because they did it with firecrackers? That means we should invade
every... firecrackers are trying to undo it.
Whatever.
They're trying to make the sale an illegal product.
It's practical, and it wouldn't happen overnight. Just like, that's what I hate.
That's what we're moving into here.
Yeah, with cigarettes, yes.
The sale of an illegal product is okay.
Yeah, well, of course. Of course it's happening.
So, like you can't use a nuclear bomb in New Jersey, but you should be able to sell them. Because then we got to pay taxes on them.
It's all a matter of degree, Mike. Of course, kids do lose their hands because of M80s, but it's not like a nuclear bomb. And I don't think anyone's going to argue about nuclear bomb use. But luckily, not many people can sell it or know how to use it. Unlike
a nuclear bomb?
It's pretty hard to detonate, from what I've heard. You really have to know what you're doing.
I don't have any research on that myself.
But I don't know if these girls do, but they're fun to look at. What's happening now, Mike? Can you give me a play-by-play?
They're doing this kind of fertility thing where they're walking under each other's legs. It's a lot of fun. I don't know.
They're in shape.
I kind of call this like go-go cheerleading.
Yeah.
And it's not really go-go dancing. It's kind of like, you get girls in underwear to make pyramids. And
you can't beat the advertising. It's free advertising. Anyone will come out for that.
They came from Illusions in Florence.
Should we pay a visit there one day to do a follow-up?
Well, we could do that. Maybe we could go down. Maybe they'll invite us down and we could do a remote in Florence to follow up on a smoking ban. And we'll come back after we find out if Governor Cody actually signs the legislature, and we'll go back and follow up. I think...
that would be good. 6 months. That would be responsible journalism.
6 months? I'm thinking a week or two.
Well, it's a little too soon. It'd be interesting to see, but I think this 6 months to 1 year would be a proper time to bore out. You said in Delaware it took 3 years, according
to Bounce Back.
People to come back.
We should go and pursue Illusions to see if they'll let us come down and do a remote and get some reactions to the smoking ban.
Well, our Harry producer, we have to talk to him, and we do have a budget, and he looks like, as I said before, he could use a cigarette. He's been a rough day covering everything out here.
Well, we got a big crew out there,
I know, but a lot of responsibility. Okay, how are we gonna? Are we near the end, or what are we?
Well, I'm looking at the clock. We got.
We've been going on for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, not all of it's good. So.
Well, I know, yeah. Well, what else do you want to touch on?
How do we end it?
Well, what happened at the end? They walked out. Everyone got back in buses and left.
Oh.
Some interviews.
Okay, so yeah, so we got a report that they didn't.
And how
come.
long have we been here?
We
About
got-
2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours? How long have we descending?
Okay, now I'm gonna. We're just talking, and this shit's happening behind us, and I dropped this dialogue out, but we'll keep our profiles in while we listen to other things.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna dip my head over to the side and report that the strippers are not coming. Adam, I just got word that they were talking. They got a phone call. Turns out the strippers are at exit 2 at a turnpike.
Leave it to strippers to go the wrong way.
It turns out that either a hoax or a media dupe, or they just got lost because, wow.
Maybe someone hacked into MapQuest and made it so they'd get the wrong directions.
And they got the wrong directions.
Part of a
or
conspiracy.
They weren't paying. Maybe they're all naked, and the bus driver kept looking in the rearview mirror.
I think some friends from the Nassau Presbyterian Church put their own kind of metaphysical hex on them and to stop them from coming. The Smoke Enders group.
The bus driver had his face in the rearview mirror for so much that he saw the road signs for north behind him, so he thought he was going north when he was going south because he's looking in the mirror.
His focus
back so much.
Who knows what went on in that bus? Who knows if they're able? That's why they weren't able to complete their journey. It's not always a straight line with strippers, I bet.
Well, anyway,
logic doesn't dictate.
We have some friction dancers. We got to see some entertainment. What do they do in a go-go bar? Yeah, are initiated by smoking and drinking and looking at the naked ladies or semi-naked ladies or young girls rubbing up against you, doing their gyrations.
Just from my following, too, of the press and some of these press briefings have been put together, I want to thank my associate producer. Whatever the spin in the papers are, it seems they say it's almost like a slam dunk. It's going to be passed. You work a lot more in Trenton than I do. What's your feeling?
Well, he put through a lot of legislation. I think a lot of legislation that a lot of people would see as beneficial, going in the right direction. And you know what? He wasn't elected, and he didn't have a lot of time to put together a package of
comprehensive, you're saying,
of issues and points. What do you call it?
So kind of like Clinton trying to safeguard the wilderness before he made all this.
No, I mean he's making a legacy for himself
right.
of getting some good legislation put out at the last minute. The term between election day and inauguration day is called the lame duck time. And that means because nothing gets done.
Maybe he's a win-win too. Legislators
could
vote for it.
You got to give him credit for not having a lot of time to put together what's that called when you have a position?
Position paper.
What is that called?
Declaration, bill.
No.
Rider.
Anyway, he didn't have a long time to put together a podium, or I don't know. He didn't have a lot of time to put together a lot of issues.
He didn't have a lot. I think what you're trying to say, my learned colleague is saying, to basically implant a direction for his issue, a campaign, a platform.
A platform.
He didn't have a lot of time to compose a platform. I think you said before, I'm a caretaker. At the same time, I do want to take care of business, and this is one way of taking care of business.
Yeah, Governor Cody didn't have a long time to put together a comprehensive platform, but it didn't stop him from putting together legislation, particularly that brainstem legislation.
Yeah, that seemed like a win-win.
A lot of people were really behind that, and
smoke
it took a lot of courage with the Right to Life people, and to get together and say, what, we need to get some positive things going in New Jersey, positive research. So,
what I think, Mike,
do you understand the stem cell research issue yourself?
Yeah, well,
can you expand on that?
From what I do understand is that what right to life or see all life is sacrosanct or sacred. And they don't want to use. They see life being basically in the stem cells of a baby and shouldn't be used for a scientific experiment. They think that it's a degradation of life. Other people said, look, you can argue the
it opens up the legitimacy of an abortion.
Right, and all that. So they just want to stop it in its tracks, from what I understand. Other people are saying, look, that's your view, you're welcome to it, but this is science. Who says God doesn't want you to stop illness, too? I think from my statistics too, New Jersey basically is a pretty social liberal state. Even our Governor Whitman, who left the Bush administration, most Republicans in this state actually had no problem on these social issues, such as homosexual marriage and stem cell. I think it's a small minority, but well financed from the outside. Maybe Cody's lame duck status was a benefit, because he rammed it through. He had enough legislators. Even the Republicans could say, "Hey, I voted against it, but there was too many Democrats anyway, so they don't look bad. They had a conservative constituency, or Democrats." And now is the time. It's something maybe you don't want to take up when you first get elected, when you have other issues on the plate. You always have to pick your battles. But I think New Jersey is a good place. Also, again, from what I understand, New Jersey, excuse me, well, I'm not smoking. New Jersey wants to become an epicenter of stem cell research, and with the fame and the money and the jobs that come with that. It's a cutting-edge, again, technology, for lack of a better buzzword.
So we're going to have cleaner air for that to happen, because
well, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of smokers in the state, and you know, there's a lot of petroleum development.
Yeah, but we're also very high-tech. We're second in pharmaceuticals. We're high-tech. Mercer County is probably one of the richest counties in the country. If you took, no offense to Trenton, but let's be honest, if you cut Trenton out from the economic standpoint, this probably would be the richest county in the country, more than Marin County.
At least we pay the highest taxes.
And that's a little out of control, though. We have to agree. Also, we have the intelligentsia. We have the universities. It's a great location. 2 major centers, New York and Philadelphia. Why not? So
How many universities do we have?
We have many. I mean, we have good local ones.
The College of New Jersey, we got
Rider,
Princeton,
Rider
we got
University,
Rider,
Rutgers.
You got Mercer County, you got Rutgers is just an hour away.
It's unbelievable. So New Jersey's a great space, and of course,
even really within 5 miles, how many universities?
Major research hospitals in Pennsylvania, in New Jersey, and New York, all very accessible by public transportation. Again,
so
it's a win-win.
Wouldn't it be archaic for people in New Jersey to be smoking at all? Do we have a right to? But do we have a right to smoke?
Yes. And should we try to outlaw it? No. Let's learn from past mistakes. I believe that...
What happened when they had a prohibition? Was that effective for smokers' rights?
I say no. I say prohibition with a major failure. And from what I understand...
Is that why they repealed it?
Yes. It led to the rise of organized crime. Mm-hmm. It was ineffective. You could still... And people forget, you're allowed to make your own alcohol up to a certain quantity. Also, at the same time, it was not enforceable, and it corrupted our public officials.
They said...
I think they should legalize marijuana.
Suggestion.
I think they should legalize cocaine.
There was a suggestion that with the possible passage of this law, that will create a new job that says you're going to travel around the state and go from bar to bar all over the state and drink beer just to see if anybody's smoking.
Well, maybe they'll just give it to someone else in the DEA, whatever.
Wouldn't that be a fun job to have? Enforcement, no smoking in restaurants, and you just get to go all over and eat and drink beer. And
looking at strippers is fun
bars
too.
And go. Okay.
Summarize.
So
I'm a little. I just want to get home. I have to see my baby.
Yeah. So another 15 minutes or 5. All right. So we were at the State House and later on at the War Memorial, watching the stripper protest for the smoking ban. We got to see some friction dance. We didn't get to see 350 strippers. We talked about opinions about whether smoking is a good thing and whether we should outlaw it or not.
It seems it will be outlawed. I hope we stirred some conversation and we had some fun covering this.
And we're uncovering it.
Or uncovering it.
As it were.
And hopefully we can do more of this in the future. Because there's going to be more bills coming up. As Mike has brought up, this is, again, this won't go away. How we legislate lifestyle, morality, things we do in private.
Yeah, well, if we can't do smoking and then, when does it stop?
When
they stop deciding what's good for us?
Or when do they use laws selectively to go after certain people, whatever reason they want to go after them for? To me, I said before, it's all a matter of discretion and enforcement. There's lots of laws out there.
How about that Patriot Act? Didn't that just expire? Is that renewed?
It did. I don't know if anyone read I read actually the whole law. It's pretty complicated. But again, it's a matter, to me, I think we'll see here, a matter of enforcement and discretion. And also, there is some power involved. As we said, the big white elephant, is that a Republican elephant? Is it a Democratic donkey? Is the casinos. They will not be banned. And you don't hear much.
They won't be banned. And Why is that? I mean, we could do a whole report on why the casinos are exempt, and it's really a curious thing. You know, it's like it's against everybody's health, except if you're gambling. Somehow, the act of gambling protects you from getting cancer.
Right.
That's the only way I could really
well,
see it.
I don't think they see it that way. I think, as you said before, either it's powerful lobbying or the combination of the goose that lays a golden egg and there's too much money in it.
There's a little bit of duality. You know what? I gave up smoking 2.5 years ago. I could do without it.
You got a girlfriend for a while.
And I gave up the smoking, and I don't understand why smoking is not allowed in a casino. Why there's a certain kind of loopholes in the, legislation, and that makes it weak in itself.
Yes and no.
I think that the fact that they allow smoking in a casino, which might have a restaurant, is already opening a crack to make this law weak right from this.
I would be interested to hear at least the political jargon that defends this law. I don't know what it would be.
Do you think they might cement that crack and get people to write to the State House and have
well, that's part of it, though. That's
Corzine close that crack and outlaw the casinos too, or is there?
Let's be honest.
Too much power.
We do elect these officials, but again, democracy is a participation game. But yes, if you had a lot of people who vote and give, even though Corzine has money, and contribute money to a party, yes, you could have a grassroots action that could close that crack. Again, we have to find out.
If the legislatures are voting for our best interest, right?
Not always everyone's best interest, Mike.
For most people's best interest,
it's
the plurality, it's the majority's interest. It's the good for
tyranny
the
of a majority,
the most good for the most people, right?
Hopefully,
the most good for the most people. So, if it's a bad thing to smoke in public around other people, why is it okay to smoke in a casino?
That's another
That
story.
is a duality part of this thing that I just can't, I can have an opinion about it, but whatever opinion I have, it flops because, the law is weak in that respect.
I'd be interested from the people on the street to tell us if we see them or letters.
So the anti-smokers are saying it's weak because you can smoke in Atlantic City. The smokers are saying the law is weak because it takes away their personal rights. The strippers just want to get their dollar bills.
Restaurateurs, same thing.
The restaurateurs want their clientels. There are restaurants that have no smoking because they don't have an ability to have a smoking and a non-smoking area. But should there be restaurants that have smoking-only restaurants where you have to smoke just to go in a restaurant?
Or you're allowed to smoke if you want to.
You're allowed to smoke if you want to.
We'll see.
Some people who don't smoke, or some former smokers, they like to get a little ambiance once in a while. And so, some of us like to just remember what it smells like and not really get too involved in it. And so
we do remember the Marlboro Man.
What happened to him?
Well, he did get emphysema and die. But those photos, those commercials, they were enticing, I have to say. It embodied ruggedness, outdoor, statuesque, and a cigarette on his lips. And God, you wanted to be that guy. I got to admit.
You wanted to be that guy, and now look at him.
Yeah. He had double lung transplant and hooked up in a machine when he died. But they don't show that part. Well, Mike, we've covered a lot of ground. I don't know if we reached resolutions or conclusions. That's not really our job, though, is it?
No, we just brought you some commentary on some of the issues that were brought up at the rally today. From what we could hear, my voice is a little raspy from...
It's been about 4 or 5 hours. We've been manning the seat here.
We've been manning the seat. I understand that this live coverage is going to be edited down, and they're going to rebroadcast this, and perhaps we can get on the air with a follow-up story at Illusions if the smoking ban goes through and how that affects down there.
I have to get my wife's permission first to go.
You have to give your wife permission?
She has to give me permission.
She has to give you permission to go down. And
this might just be Mike solo.
Why don't we go out with watching some demonstrations from the fine artist ladies and their interpretive dancing from Illusions, and let's watch that while we sign off with the girls from Illusions. and we're reporting from the Trenton and the War Memorial in Trenton today for the smoking ban protest by the strippers from Mars. Maybe we're going to have problems because we didn't get that fertility pole out here that was supposed to drain the blood from the legislators' brains and from Cody's brain. But, you know.
We'll learn about that next time. I'm interested. Maybe I can
Oh,
do
I
that
just
at
got
home.
word that they did get the state slogan. Do you have that? What's the state slogan? They just passed the law.
Give me cigarettes or give me death. I'm
No,
not sure. Well, I want to thank you, though. And
New Jersey got a problem with that? Was that what it was?
Oh, that's right, New Jersey. You got a problem with that?
You got a problem with that?
Well, signing off, I want to thank my makeup person, too. This has been a great TV 30
Somebody
broadcast.
made you up?
Yes. This has been a great
They
TV.
should be fired.
Adam Bierman for TV 30
and Mike Littwin from TV 30, producer, director.
And let's catch the rest of the goings on.
Let's just watch the goings on.
I see some skin.
I will give it to them, my fellow New Jerseyans, small business owners, brave veterans, and esteemed exotic dancers. Thank you for calling my show every night. Thank you. Today we combine our collective voices to let our elected public servants know that we don't work for them, they work for us! They work for us! You hear me? You work for me! That's right, the people! You!
You got to play that again. Just when he goes, first he goes, they work for us. And then, like, it dawns on him, because that's scripted, that part, right? But then he's so into it. Play that part again. The first part of that is scripted. They work for us. And then he goes, you hear him say, like, he goes off script. Here, watch. And his name is Tommy G. He goes off script and he goes, that's right, they work for me. And then I know we got to take a break up there in a second. Here we go.
Thank you.